I'm sure we all recognize these images. We have seen them over the past year everywhere on and off our campus. What we don't see is the work behind them, the people, the community, and the perseverance of their creators. Fortunately, through my Gold project, I was afforded a look inside. Hi, my name is Summer Fulbright, and I worked with Dr. Coretta Walker on the university's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This project has morphed and changed in ways we couldn't have even imagined last summer, and I'm so thankful for that because it allowed me to grow in my leadership skill set in ways, again, I would have never thought were possible. I first met with Coretta last July, where the fate of our campus and what decisions were being made were still very much up in the air. At the end of that meeting, I had what felt like a mile-long list of things to complete. So after many emails, I finally was on my way to helping to set up the first part of this project, which was the distribution of face coverings. Now, I felt quite scared and afraid of just jumping in that capacity, not knowing all of the answers, but I knew that I would find growth on the other side, and that I did. In the first week of the fall semester, over 16,000 face coverings were distributed across campus to students, staff, and faculty. Collaborating with nursing students, the Environmental Health and Safety Office, Student Affairs, the Parking Office, and even more campus resources, the project was a huge success. From the success, I learned that jumping in at the beginning was what really allowed me to have such a successful project. Making connections to influential people across campus has been invaluable. Hearing their perspective and how those operations have changed in response to what COVID has caused. And I think having that success is what led to the next part of our project, which allowed me to take on a role as a community partner in the Spartan Day of Service. During the day, two groups packaged 5,000 face coverings with notes of encouragement for their fellow students. It was an amazing day to see the dedication others had to squashing this pandemic, and because of their efforts and many other students, UNCG's need for face coverings drastically decreased. Although I was beyond thrilled for this news, it meant that there needed to be a shift in my Gold project, and with that, there was a lot of questions still up in the air, and I also learned a lot about flexibility during this time. In the spring semester, with plans being made and canceled left and right because we didn't know exactly what our plan was, it really taught me a lot about how to be flexible in leadership. It ended up that we settled on providing culture of care walks to students, which happened a little in the fall, but we focused a lot on them in the spring. After packing over 200 bags full of candy, face coverings, inspiring notes, and other UNCG items, we were faced with another need in response to COVID. Although all of the other facets of my project were rewarding, I would have to say this was the most so. After seeing all of the suffering and loss of this pandemic, getting to work at the vaccine pod on campus was the perfect conclusion to my Gold experience. Seeing people being vaccinated by the hundreds is an experience I cannot put into words, and even less so is the day I was vaccinated. I know saying this pandemic has been a challenge is a drastic understatement, but I want to choose to think of this as a time of learning and reflection over everything else, because in this past year, I've added an innumerable amount of leadership skills to my skill set. Things like flexibility, time management, confidence, communication, and most of all, just empathy. I think these are just invaluable things that I would never have learned if it wasn't in this crazy time. And I cannot wait to see how that affects me in the future. With that being said, I want to leave with just speaking to anyone who is listening. I know this pandemic is hard, and I know we've suffered so much loss, and I just want to encourage everyone to keep going because we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, in over a year, it's there. The vaccinations are happening, and to everyone or anyone who has washed their hands, socially distanced, worn a mask and is now getting vaccinated, I cannot begin to thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. You are the reason that my project has been a success, and you are the reason that things are getting better now. So please, we need you to get to the finish line, and I know it's hard, but I want to just say a big thank you. And also, I want to say thank you to Dr. Coretta Walker, OLCE, Tim Sloan, the nursing department, environmental health and safety, and anyone else that I've been able to work with over the past year. It has been an amazing experience. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.